Hi, this is Dr. Burton, and this is a video I'm making as a follow-up to my live stream where I took a couple questions about what is clarity. And in that video, I said I would give you an argument. I'm going to give you 3 arguments. Again, these are not my own. They come from Professor Gangadean, which I should add his book, Philosophical Foundation. Um, I'm going to put a link to it in the chat. We're going to republish that book soon, so keep an eye out. It will be more affordable for students. His book begins, some things are clear, the basic things are clear, the basic things about God and man are clear to reason. And one of the things he did later is made a handout for as an argument for those statements. What someone said I was asserting. I'm asserting them, but there is proof. So let's look at that. I'm going to. I'm using some new, I don't know what platform. Okay, so here we are, and you can see my picture's on the wrong side. It kind of bothers me that the picture's on the wrong side, but okay, we'll work with it for now. So here we are going to have to manage 2 screens. All right, so let's start. Some things are clear. And someone might say, prove it. How do we know some things are clear? Well, let's look at the argument. It starts this way. Some things are clear. Consider the contradiction. Now, in my logic class, we talk about the square of opposition, which shows us the relationship between judgments. On the top are universals, all SSP, universal affirmative, and no SSP, a universal negative. On the bottom, some SSP, particular affirmative, some S is not P, a particular negative, and diagonally are the contradictions. So all S is P is contradicted by some S is not P, no S is P is contradicted by some S is P. Okay, so this is a contradiction in the strictest sense. None is clear, some is clear. Direct contradiction. Both can't be true, both can't be false in the same respect and at the same time. So some things are clear, consider the contradiction, none is clear. The statement, some things are clear, assumes reason, it doesn't prove it. Anytime we're thinking according to the laws of thought. I can't prove the laws of thought. They are first principles. They are self-evident, self-attesting. To doubt them would be to use them to doubt them. If you have questions about reason, I will put a link in the below to the series I did, 15-part series on retrieving reason. Okay. The statement, some things are clear, assumes reason, it doesn't prove it. This statement is also an example of what we mean by clear. So contradiction is itself clear. It's clear that they can't both be true and can't both be false in the same respect and at the same time. It is clear to reason that contradictions cannot be true and false in the same respect and at the same time. I just said that. Okay, so here it is. The contradiction of some is clear is none is clear. If none is clear, then no distinction is clear. If none is clear, that statement, then there is no distinction between A and non-A, clear and non-clear, true and non-true, being and non-being, good and evil. If no distinction is clear, then there is no meaning. Everything is everything and nothing is nothing. If there is no meaning, then there is no thinking. I can't even say nothing is nothing, right? I can't, because I'm thinking something. If there is no meaning, then there is no thinking. And if there's no thinking, there's no talking. Because talking is expressing concepts. Concepts are grasped by reason. So if there's no thinking and talking, then there is nihilism, meaninglessness, nothingism. If there is no concern for consistency on the person who affirms nothing is clear, there is no possibility of dialogue and the discussion ends. So dialogue assumes consistency, assumes we're not contradicting ourselves. Nihilism is not existentially possible. It's not livable. We cannot consistently live without thinking and talking. Try it. Try not thinking. Ugh. Either we stop thinking and talking, or we are inconsistent and are hypocrites. Therefore, some things are clear. All right, so the argument's out there. I'll let you think about it. And that's the first argument, that some things are clear. So I'm not just asserting it. There is an argument. If you'd like to give a counter argument, then you're already assuming some things are clear, because you're assuming arguments prove something, and it would be clear if you proved it, if you have proven it. Okay, second, the basic things are clear. Now, Professor Gangadean has put this nice little extended modus tollens here for us. If it's not the case that the basic things are clear, then nothing is clear. It's not the case that nothing is clear, therefore the basic things are clear. So that's in its nice little logical form. But let's read it through and think it through. And if you have questions, put them in the chat below, or email them to me, or come to my local channel and discuss. All right, thinking is presuppositional. What does that mean? It means we think of the less basic in light of the more basic, less foundational in light of the more foundational. If we agree on the more basic, we will agree on the less basic. If we do not agree on the more basic, we cannot agree on the less basic. Okay, now here are some examples, and I've talked about this before. We think of meaning in light of reason. So reason's first, reason gets us meaning. We think of truth in light of meaning. So meaning is more basic than truth. Experience in light of our basic beliefs. So basic beliefs are more basic than experience. And basic belief has to do with a judgment. For example, God exists. God is a being that exists. That's a judgment. And we would interpret our experience in light of that kind of judgment. We think of conclusions in light of premises. So premises in an argument come first, and then we get our conclusion. We think of finite and temporal in light of infinite and eternal. So infinite and eternal, the concepts come first before finite and temporal. And we think of special revelation in light of general revelation. So general revelation first, what we could know about God from things that are made, comes before what we could know about God from his revealed will in the scriptures. Okay, so there's some examples of thinking is presuppositional. Point 2, if it's not the case that the more basic is clear, okay, if we can't agree down here, then it's not the case that the less basic is clear. We can't agree up here. And if the more basic and the less basic are not clear, then nothing is clear. Okay? If the more basic is not clear, then nothing can be clear. But it's not the case that nothing is clear. See the previous argument we just went over. Therefore, the basic things are clear. Ooh, isn't that tight? It's beautiful, right? So some things are clear, and the things that are clear have to be the more basic. Now, how do we know those more basic things? Let's go to the next point. The basic things about God and man and good and evil are clear to reason. Why would we say that? The basic things are about what is infinite and eternal. So think of those concepts. Infinite and eternal. Eternal, no beginning and no end. That is a concept, and it's our most basic concept. We get there by saying something exists. What's the most basic thing we can say about this? It exists. And it exists either always or not always. Always existence is eternal existence. So conceptually, it is prior to infinite. To finite. The infinite and eternal, conceptually, are about God. It is clear that either God exists or God does not exist. So either there is a God or there isn't a God. To put it on the square of opposition, either all is eternal and God does not exist, or only some is eternal and God does exist. And that's probably where we have to go next in our conversation here. The infinite and the eternal are about God. It's clear that either God exists or God does not exist. Therefore, the basic things are about God. Okay, the existence or non-existence of God. This is the area of metaphysics and philosophy. Philosophers have been discussing this. This is the origin of philosophy, this question. If some things are clear about God, then some things are clear about man or human nature. If some things about man or human nature are clear, then good and evil are clear. Why? Because good and evil are based on the nature of man or human beings. So if we know what human nature is, for example, Aristotle says humans are rational, political animals. If that's our nature, then we will know what's good for human beings and we'll know what's evil for human beings. And what is clear to reason. It's clear objectively to reason. Perhaps it's not clear subjectively to me. We talked about that in the last video. Therefore, the basic things about God and man and good and evil are clear to reason. This conclusion is from the premises of this argument and from line 1 in the previous argument, thinking is presuppositional. 3 pretty tight arguments, and I want you to think it through and let me know if you have objections to these arguments. I have a upset puppy. I locked him out this time. That's Miles, the new puppy, by the way. He hasn't quite figured out how to make videos with me yet. So, okay, that's the arguments. Those are the arguments. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And again, I'm trying to grow my channel. I don't know. I need more watch hours. If you can help me with that, watch the whole video. Watch another video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And join me for the live stream next Thursday. This is a new feature of my channel. I'm going to try it out. All right, thanks, and have a really great day.